To do a demo today where what we're doing is launching Cypress, and what we're doing is that we're debugging a problem I got when looking up on Google, doing a test to look up single words on Google search for words, and I want them to make sure to test that they're adjectives. And we've gotten a problem here. We got one issue here where there was a test that failed and another test that passed. So this test passed, which was for the word proficient that we see here as we type proficient. And we see as we're typing the characters here how it's sending these doing XHR, basically REST calls back to Google to show up the suggestions. And then once you hit enter, we can see the highlighted field there, and we see the result that comes back. And we see down here that the adjective has appeared. And here's some pathing, which is CSS pathing, to get to the adjective. And we see that it actually got to it and found it because we see it's highlighted. And then after that, we see the assertion to see that it is in fact an adjective and a test pass. In the other case, the test fail. So for the first test for the word agile that was typed here, so basically we basically look for a redirect because we go to google.com. We do an assertion here to see if it redirects us to www.google.com, and we do a URL assertion. Then after that, we go to the search field. And what's wonderful about this this environment is that as we click on the steps, it highlights the browser for that step. So we can see now that the search field is in fact highlighted. And when we type agile, we can see that the red dot appears, and at the end we hit enter, we can see the word agile's got typed, and we can see all the suggestions. And basically here we see the traffic and the result of the search. So we see that it comes back, but there's a problem here. It didn't come back to show the definition yet. So basically we do a search inside the DOM, and after a timeout of 1,000 milliseconds, it's expected to see to find the element, but it doesn't even succeed finding the element. So the assertion here is indicated that we're looking for should have text adjective, and it's never found. So basically, oh yes, it's actually indicated in the assertion here. It says that this element should have text adjective but was actually blank. So it never found the actual element. So what's interesting about that is that basically it's very easy to debug this because this is a race condition. What's happening essentially here is a race condition. And what's nice is that we bring in Visual Studio Code here, and basically what we see is this is our test script. This is the first test, the test for agile, which failed, and the second test to call search Google adjective for proficient, and that worked. And we look at the code here, which is we have all the syntax highlighting and all the how we can fill in the arguments to all the calls here to Cypress. And essentially what's nice about that is that since it's all TypeScript code, we can see from the TS indicator here in the .ts file that it's our test file, is that it helps you fill out and see all the options to the Cypress fluid API options. And by fluid API, I just mean that you sort of dot. That means you invoke a method, and then you can chain the methods to add more restrictions, let's say around a test. So essentially here, the element is gotten from this name queue, which is the search box. Then you type the search string, which is the parameter to the function, and then you hit the enter key. So basically what is fantastic about that is it allows us to compose the test much easier. Here the problem is we're having a race condition, so Google's not arriving fast enough. And I did this a little bit on purpose because I put a timeout of 1000 milliseconds. And we can see with the all the options on there that we can add Cypress and a timeout table up there. We see in the Cypress options for the call. So basically what we're going to do is we're just going to adjust the timeout and put it to 5000 milliseconds. We'll wait 5 seconds just to be sure it works. And basically, when we save this file, you'll see that the test will be re-triggered immediately after. So that basically there's a watch system on the Cypress process that's actually running. If it sees the test files change, it actually reruns the test. So for development, this is fantastic. It becomes very interactive. So watch when I save. I'm going to save now because we see that the little white dots here indicate the file hasn't been saved. We changed this from 1 second to 5 seconds, and we're going to save this and watch the test will re-trigger in the background here. We'll move the window away, and we see that the test passed, and they both passed. And we can actually walk through the test to see what actually happened. So we can actually just hover it, and then you can actually see all the typing, the word agile, hitting of enter, and then we can see as it renders as we go along. Then we can see that the adjective here was actually rendered at this step. So, if we click this step or this step, we can see that the page loaded right here. So then after that, we can see our test went here. Our test to be an adjective succeeded, and that's the end of the test. It was very successful. No, a really nice development environment. I'll give the information next to the link about Cypress and how to do the testing and where to find the information.